Hi everyone, happy August. I hope you are all enjoying the summer weather and your vacations. Somehow, back to school season is right around the corner. It can be a little overwhelming to start up school again, but this month of August we have some amazing women in jazz who are all in college that will provide some expert tips and tricks to get you through the beginning of school. So this week we have the amazing Deb Smith, who is going to be a second year student at Temple University studying jazz performance on trombone. So, welcome, Deb. We're super excited. Why don't you tell us a little
Super
bit more
excited to be
about
here.
yourself?
Hi, everyone. So I'm Deborah, as you may have heard. I play trombone. I've been playing trombone since about the seventh grade. I grew up in Bridgeport, Connecticut. It's currently where I am right now. I'm missing Philly, but currently in my hometown, so it's cool to just like reconnect. Yeah, I love what I do. I love playing trombone. I'm at Temple, which is a great program, and I've learned so much being there. But yeah, that's me.
Awesome. So, let's jump in and talk a little bit about why you chose jazz. Why did you want to study jazz? And when did you know that you wanted to study jazz? Were you in high school? Were you younger than that?
Well, I knew I wanted to study jazz from a young age. Like I said, I started in seventh grade, and I didn't really get into jazz like right when I started. It was probably like a year into it, and I went to this jazz camp that I had like no plan or intention going to, but I was just like, you know what? I don't do anything for like the whole summer. Let me just go. And I like fell in love. Like they brought in like musicians like Godwin Louis, Benny Wallace was like he's the coordinator of the program, and just hearing them play, like I've never heard musicians like play live like that, and it just like really struck me. Like I've always loved the arts, and like when I was younger I did dance, I did like like art classes, like stuff like that, like every kid does. But for some reason music just kind of like it stuck with me. But yeah, like I got into that, and then like throughout high school I was still playing. I was like still involved with that program, that jazz program that I started in the summer. I went to the camps every summer. I did like the workshops throughout the school year. And like just doing that really made me want to pursue this. Like I was there was really nothing else that I felt like I would be able to do. Like I wasn't good at like, like social studies and like science and like all that stuff. Like, math was cool, but like, it was mainly music that was my thing. So I was like, you know what, this is gonna be like a lifelong thing. So yeah.
Oh, awesome and so inspiring to hear you say that too. Just, I've gotten to play with you with one of the big bands that we're in, the Grace Fox Big Band. And you sit right behind me, so it's just really awesome to be able to hear you say that of, like you're meant to do this. And I totally agree with that. I think you are meant to do this because you sound so good. Um, so, can you talk about what your transition was like from high school to college? Was it difficult at all? Um, how was it transitioning from the high school life into college and becoming more serious about your music?
Right. So high school to college, that was a big trip. In my town, there's not a very big music program or music programs like, just in my area. I can probably count on like two hands the amount of musicians that I know like that I'm friends with like in my area. So it was like a really big thing when I went from like this small town to like Philly. Like, that was crazy. Like especially like I said, the music programs are small, and like a lot of the students in it like are like either forced by like guidance counselors and stuff to like fulfill a requirement for like band, or they don't want to do it. Like it's just like a lot of that. And so going into college, just seeing like the amount of people that were playing, like that were the same, like around the same age as me, or were the same age as me, like was like really like kind of like a, I guess, like a culture shock. It was just like, okay, whoa, like I'm in this now, like this is like for real. Like there's cats that are playing and they're like really good, and just like it was a big thing. Like I always remember my first big band auditions at Temple. Like I had never played in a big band before. Like we don't have big bands like in my town, so it was like I got in, and it was just like, whoa, like how are these like people like sight reading this stuff like this well, and like how are like it was just all like really eye opening. Like it was mostly at first it was like whoa, I have like a lot of work to do, you know? Like I really got to shed, but at the same time it was just more really inspiring. Like I just yeah, it was a big shift. It was a really big shift, but like I'm super grateful for that shift because like since like I always say it, since that big band audition, the day of that big band audition, I've like never looked back. Like I've like always just like made it my mission to just keep on shedding, keep on like, you know, keeping the music close.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Absolutely. And going off of that point too of, getting to have that first experience in a big band where everyone is so good, how do you find your confidence to understand for yourself that you belong in a situation like that? Because it can be really overwhelming to play with people of such high caliber and a program like Temple that's so wonderful and have so many good players here in Philly. How did you find your confidence in school?
Well, it was very, I'm gonna be honest, it was very hard. Like the first semester, I spent a lot of time like on my own, just like in the practice room. Like I wasn't really playing with a lot of people just because I didn't really feel like, you know, I was like as good as like a lot of like the other people at the school. And I just, like I said, I spent a lot of time alone, which probably wasn't good for me, but you know, I felt like I needed to catch up, which looking back, I just kind of wish I was like, you know, pat myself on the shoulder like you're gonna be okay, like everybody moves at their own pace, like it's not, you know, like some people, everybody at Temple comes from different places, you know, like I'm sure like the way that they were brought up in their music career like was different, and everybody's is different, so you know I have to give myself that like leeway and like kind of just remind myself like okay, like this is like, you know, just take your time, like don't rush to try to like, you know, be like, you know, and obviously like a lot of music, like you want to be the best that you can be, you want to be like comfortable, you want to be confident, you want to be able to play like this music to the best of your ability, you know. But it's also good to just remind yourself that like we all move at different paces, and I had to keep on reminding myself of that. Like by the second semester, I was like kind of over that like little like down phase, and just like okay, you know what? I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna play with people. And I'm just gonna have fun. Like the moral of it is just like to have fun with it. Like you're learning, there's gonna be like ups and downs, there's gonna be those hurdles, but you just gotta have fun at the end of the day. Like, oh, I messed up, I didn't solo that well. Oh, I messed up sight reading that chart. Like, you know, but you just gotta go through it. It'll be okay. Like, it's all fun.
I completely agree with you, and I don't think I could have said that better myself. Is just everyone moves at their own pace, and it's important to recognize that for yourself so that we can all continue to grow. And no matter what your age is, if you are just starting out and you're in middle school or younger, or if you've experienced your whole life without music and you're just now picking up an instrument, everyone moves at their own pace, and I think that's just such a great point, and for students especially, really something that's important to keep in mind. So that being said, how do you balance everything as a school student? Whether, like I said, if you're in middle school or if you're in high school, if you're a college student, there's a lot of demands and it's a busy, busy time. So how do you do it? How do you manage time practicing? How do you manage time as a student doing schoolwork?
Um, I'm still trying to figure that out, honestly. But I guess what I do right now is just like going back to what I said, like taking everything like a day at a time. You know, if you have an assignment due at like the end of the week for like some gen ed course that you don't really care about, like just make sure you get it done, like get it out the way, and like, you know, obviously like you want to be practicing like every day. And honestly, like some days like we do miss, like we can't practice like one day, then like, you know, next day you'll be like, okay, we'll practice a little bit harder, you know. But it's all just a matter of like just making sure that you have like your priorities in order. I had a teacher at Temple, Joe McDonough. He told me, just don't try to practice 24 things in one day. It's better to practice one thing in like 24 hours, or I think that's how he said it. But you know, just if you have a whole bunch of charts that you need to practice, or like, you know, just a whole bunch of things you need to practice, just remember like, okay, you know, obviously I can't get this all done in one day, just take it one day at a time. Okay, I'll practice this. Then, okay, next day I'll practice this, and then I'll practice that. And then, you know, just same thing with like the assignments. Like, you know, assignments are just, you know, like if you have a math assignment due at the end of the week, just honestly just get it done like before, and just you don't have to worry about it. But Yeah, it's a lot of there's some give or take too. Like sometimes you have to give up like, say like social time to like, practice, and that's that kind of comes with being a musician too. But, and even if it's like I said, doing like your little silly gen ed assignments, like, just setting aside time to do certain things. But yeah.
That is such a great point. So we are about out of time, but do you have any other, maybe like a sentence or two about advice for music students?
I would say honestly just keep pushing through. Like it gets very hard at times, like, and I can attest to that. Like I said, there's been times where I've really, and it's even still like feel really behind compared to like a lot of like my peers and like a lot of musicians and stuff. But you can't really let that get to you. You have to really just like push to remember you're in your own path. You're not in anybody else's path. You're on your own. You're in your own path. So just kind of like, be easy on yourself. Don't like, and I wish I could have told myself that like when I was younger. Just be a lot easier on yourself. And I still need to hear that now. Like, it's very easy to be like hard on yourself, which is
So
not
true.
good.
Yes.
But yeah, I would just say that. Yeah.
Awesome. I think that's great advice. Yeah, so we are just about out of time, so we're gonna do some rapid fire, fun back to school questions that are not back to school related at all. But what is your favorite food to eat around campus?
Uh, there's this one place. It's Thai's Vietnamese. It's like they have like Vietnamese hoagies. It's like so good. And like just like there's this place, sorry. There's like multiple where there's like yummy pho like right by like my old residence hall, like that. Like they have like the best pho on campus, I think. But it's so good. Yeah.
It's delicious. Okay. If you could be on any TV show, what TV show would you be on?
Um, oh, that's hard. Probably like Uh, there's like you probably know Honey Boo Boo. Like she has like this like there's like a spin-off show with like Mama June, but I probably wouldn't be on there like because it's like a family thing, but like just like to meet them. It's like I don't know what it is about them. I just like their vibe, you know what I mean?
For sure.
But like yeah,
Okay, chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
hot vanilla for sure. Yeah.
I agree. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. And then beach, mountain, or forest?
Um, maybe like I want to say beach, but I'm gonna go forest because like I have a playlist like made specifically just for like the forest, and I really want to like go to walk through a forest for like an hour and just listen to that. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, those were a little fun rapid fire questions. Always fun to toss out at the end. So thank you so much, Deb, for hanging out. Lovely afternoon. And folks, if you want to see more, we'll be posting every Wednesday in August at 12 p.m. EST. So just follow us on Key of She Jazz at Key of She Jazz on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all of the things. So thanks again, Deb. And if you want to connect with Deb, you can follow her on Instagram. Deb, drop the Instagram handle. What is it?
Deb Smith Music on Instagram. And that's basically all the handles.
Go check it out. Okay, thanks so much, Deb. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.